So these 10 signs of culture cracks are really sort of a bit like a list of pet peeves. So you might think, oh, they're quite small things, things that grate, that annoy you. Let me give you a couple of examples. Double standards. So this is very often when you realize there's one set of rules for all of us, and then something else for those at the top. And it might be as simple as where you're allowed to park, even things like catering options. I've been to organisations where the exec team have their own catering level of options. It might more regularly today involve different rules for attending the office, days in the office, days at home, and leaders, very clearly saying these are the expectations, but doing something different themselves that works for them. And some of that is understandable at times, but if it continues, if it's a theme, then it is really hard to build trust. And so that pet peeve really kind of sets in and grates and can lead towards something much more damaging. Other examples, I think silence is a big challenge that lots of teams and cultures and organizations face today. So that we've all been there. That's the moment when on a call like this or in a meeting, you get to any questions, and there's just tumbleweed. There's nothing. There's no engagement. And that might happen once or twice every now and then. But if it happens regularly, then it could be a sign that there's something seriously problematic simmering. And if you can't overcome that, then collaboration and ideas and innovation are really going to grind to a halt. And I'll share one more, which is one of my faves, corporate clones. This is when a leader very excitedly announces the arrival of an old pal, says, oh, this is John, you're going to love him, I've worked with him for years and years and he's just brilliant. But you realize that John has joined into a role that probably was never advertised. They've certainly gone through none of the process or assessment tools that everybody else might have gone through. And so you're saying to that organization and individuals, there's a sort of hidden path. There's a way to progress here that isn't open to everybody. And that sends messages across the organization every time something like that happens. And individuals will likely decide to head off, particularly those who are talented and feel that they want to progress their careers. And the worrying thing is I also did a piece of research, which is described in more detail in the book, that shows that 88% of company cultures are cracking today. So it is very likely that there is at least one of these components that you're facing in your team. And the good and bad news in relation to culture is that it doesn't stay still. So it evolves constantly, which is great because it means you can change it, new habits, new ways of working, but it's also challenging because it means you've got to keep monitoring it